Hello. Today I'd like to summarize for you the Reformation and the Counter-Reformation. Even though these two movements actually began during the Renaissance, they had such a long-lasting effect on the later Mannerist period and the Baroque period that you should really understand what these historical movements were about. The Reformation comes from the Protestant attempt to reform religion. Before this, in the Middle Ages, as you probably know, the Catholic religion, the Christian Catholic religion, had dominated most of Europe. And then gradually there was a call for reform, so that by 1517, Martin Luther in Germany posted his 95 theses against the Catholic religion. Largely he was upset about the sale of indulgences. If you paid some money, you did not have to do your Hail Marys if you had committed some particular sin. Indulgences had become kind of a tool of the trade, of the religious trade by this time, and it was seen that this was not a particular, it was introducing too much commerce into the religion. The Church of England was formed by King Henry VIII. He had more secular reasons in mind rather than religious. He wished to divorce Catherine of Aragon to marry Anne Boleyn. And when the Church of Rome, when the Catholic Church refused to grant him a divorce, he simply removed his churches in England from under the Roman Church's control and formed the new Church of England with himself at its head. So you had various countries breaking off from Rome, and I'll show you a map now that explains this in some detail so you can see which areas are Protestant and which areas are still Catholic. The way that the Reformation influenced art was in its basic concept. Martin Luther had preached that it was the individual that should have direct communication with God without any intermediaries of church or priest. So this meant enormous changes. The individual would be encouraged. This leads to more interest in democracy as time goes on, so it does affect the political landscape. It also encourages social activities such as an increase in reading, which of course is also helped by the printing press development in the early Renaissance. As soon as text became available for a wider group of people because it was cheaper due to the printing press, you have more and more people becoming educated. Also, Protestant churches were quite different than Catholic. As soon as you begin to eliminate the church hierarchy in the newly reformed Protestant churches, and then as soon as you eliminate the whole system of saints, for example, you have a different type of church, one that is not crammed with statues of saints, one that is not dependent upon large paintings. Instead, I'll show you a picture of a church from the Netherlands, which was Protestant at the time, and you can see that it's extremely plain inside. You might have one cross, but that would be it. So new Protestant churches distinguish themselves from Catholic by this new sense of spareness inside. And with the loss of the church as a patron, that means the artists look elsewhere to sell their paintings and their sculptures. They look to the middle class in the Netherlands. So a very different kind of patronage. And we'll see that means that there's going to be a difference in subject matter as well when we get to Baroque Netherland art. Now, what's happening in Italy at the same time is a counter-reformation. The Counter-Reformation is the Catholic Church beginning to reform from within. Part of this shows up in the Inquisition, the Spanish Inquisition, as well as the Roman Church's Inquisition, where there's a new strictness and a new sense of morality within the church. It has its effect on the art in that there's increased drama in the subject matters, and we will be seeing this. Art should now appeal to the masses to bring them back within the church. And in the Mannerist school, you have a new sense of anxiety, a new tenseness, rather overwrought compositions, an increase on things like diagonals rather than on balanced compositions. So we'll take a look at Mannerist art and see the effect of the Counter-Reformation as well. That's it.